What is happening, people? Good morning. Happy Monday to you all, and welcome to the Gym Boss Podcast. I'm Jimmy. I'm your host, and this is all things sales, marketing, business development, mindset, everything you need for your fitness business, for your gyms. And before we even dive into it, head on over to iwantgymleads.com. You can go over there. You can see a video I recorded for you. That is if you want more clients, you want more leads, and you just want to have more time back to be able to do what you do best, which is getting clients results and being in your gym, and leaving all the stress and frustration of marketing to the side for somebody like me to be able to do it. So it's just all done for you. Anyways, you can go check it out. And if it's for you, fill out the form and then I'll be in touch. Right. Today, marketing tip. This is my marketing tip for consistently good leads. Because you can get leads all the time, right? And I'm not talking about the different types of offer. We're talking about something here, which I'll explain in a bit of detail in a second. But how this came about was I've got a couple of clients now that have fairly big budgets. And this is how it, like, the bigger the marketing budget, especially for a local area business like a gym, like what we are, the budget the marketing can get tired really quick because there's only a finite amount of people. There's only a certain amount of people in your area, 50, 100,000, 200,000, whatever. They will start to see your stuff and they'll get what's called banner blindness to it. And so we need to be able to keep the marketing fresh. And there's a few ways that we can do this. And this is probably the biggest one. This is probably the biggest one that I think is simple that we have landed on, and always testing. But for these clients that have got the big budgets, I'm talking like, $150, $200 a day or more, is called niche cycling, or you rotate through your demographics, right? You rotate through your niches. And if you have a look, if you're on Facebook Live, what up? You can see I've drawn on the whiteboard here, and guys on the podcast, you just have to use your visual imaginary skills. We've got a big circle drawn in the middle, and kind of like just with arrows pointing around, going around, right? And right down the middle, I've drawn a big line to split it in half, because if you think like we're just rotating through different niches, and you got to think like, well, Jimmy, what do you mean different niches, different demographics even? So the very first one is like between gender, male and female, because the way that we market towards a male, the language, the imagery, etc., it's going to be different to attract the person to the destination you want to get to. So we were running out, the story how this came about was with these clients with these big budgets, we were still getting leads, but then it was getting a bit hard. Like the lead cost started going up. So lead flow started to flow down after a certain period of time. And then it was getting tougher to get the people to come in. So because, I don't know, for some reason, whatever, but if you run an offer for too long, it gets a bit tired, right? So we had to come up with this. So I was just swapping from male to female. So you only market to the females, say, for example, for like a month, and then you turn those off, and then now you market to the men. And so what you're doing is you're resting the female market from seeing your offer all the time. And now we're pumping all the money for marketing over into the other demographic that is fresh and ready to go. And so if you have a look on the whiteboard here, we'll call this men and women. So this side is the men, this side is the women. You can just literally try that. That's one thing that you can do. And when we did this, when we changed up the demographics like this with my clients, we saw a good uptake in like the consistency of leads coming through. So they could predictably go, okay, look, we're going to on average get this cost per lead, this many leads per week, etc. And that's critical when you've got a big business or even a small business, right? Probably even more critical with a small business. You want to know with certainty how many leads you're going to get. So small, large, it's critical to know like how you're going to get leads and how you're going to grow your business, because that's step one in growing your business and making sales. And so what you can do though, so that's two demographics. You can go like that. And if you've got a smaller budget, let's just say you're marketing on $20 to $40 a day. that's probably enough for you, because you can run the men's campaign for a while and then you can turn it off and then you can switch. But if you got bigger budgets, you probably have to split it up by age as well. So if we go like this, just say we've got the men here, this is the younger men, say that's 25 to 34. And then this one here is like 35 to 50. Well, let's just say that that's sort of, you've got two different sort of segments there. And then same for the women. You know, you've got the 25 to 34, and then the 35 to 50. 50. So now you can even go, okay, let's go through the big circle or cycle through. So at the top, we're starting with the men, the young men group. Market to those for maybe even like a week, because with the big budgets of these clients, we're rotating now weekly, because that's like how quickly we have to keep rotating the offers or rotating the niches or the demographics, right? So the young men, and then do that for a week, then turn them off and go to the older demographic of men. And you can change your marketing slightly. So you have a slightly different positioning, slightly different copy, slightly different images, so it suits the demographic, right? Which makes sense, okay? And then you've got over here, and do the same for the women. Start with the young group first for a week, and then rotate and go up to them. So you can do that. Now, is it necessary to do it on a weekly basis? No, it just depends on your ad spend. It depends, like everything in business, it depends on your situation. Just like with your fitness clients, your weight loss clients or whatever, like you don't want to be like giving everybody the exact same program, because not everyone's going to respond the same. And same with your business. It's not going to respond exactly the same, but the overlying strategy and principle stays the same. So just keep it super simple. Start off with men and women. Just keep rotating. Don't try and market your ads all to them at the same time, because when the marketing gets tired, you've got nothing left to do. You got no room left to move. So do yourself a favor and market just to one gender at least to start with, and then go to the other, alternate. Now, if that's like starting to run out, then you can start to break it up by age bracket. And if you're a gym that then does multiple different services, for example, you just say you've got group training, then you've got some like CrossFit stuff in there, or you've got some like yoga and Pilates. So you've got sort of like the more intense stuff with the group training. Then you've got the more, health and well-being type stuff with yoga and Pilates. Well, then now you've got even more room, because then you could go, okay, let's target the Pilates to like, let's do a Pilates campaign for women over 40. You're like, wow, okay. And that's just that one segment. And then you can go, okay, now let's do it for the men. So then you write the ads and everything for the men like that. And then you can see how you've got a lot more room. So you can really split this up as much as you like. But don't get too complex with it. You don't need to go that deep. Start with just doing gender, and then you'll be sweet. The way I like to think of it like this as well, if you're still not sold on it, on the idea of splitting up the marketing, rotating through demographics and cycling through them, think of it like this. Think of it as just say you're a runner. Just say you're a runner, or whatever playlist you have. So just say you've made your own playlist on Spotify, you've got it fired up, and you've got the same 10 tracks in there for when you go to working out. After a while, you're going to get sick of those bloody tracks. I don't care how good they are. You're going to get sick of them. You're going to need to rotate through them so it stays fresh and it keeps your intensity up. That is how you keep it fresh. Just think of it like that. You get bored and tired of the same playlist. People get bored and tired of the same marketing. So you need to be able to turn it a cycle. I've made my point. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. Again, if you want somebody to just handle your marketing for you, if this sounds like, hey, this is great, I love it, but it's just too much for me to handle with all the stuff going on in my gym that I need to do, but you know it's important, go to iwantgymleads.com. iwantgymleads.com. There's a little form there. Fill that bad boy out. Then I'll be in touch to have a chat, just talk about how we can get you more leads, more clients, and be able to implement this strategy for your business so you can have consistent leads, consistent sales, and be able to grow with certainty. Anyways, this is Jimmy. Hope you're having a magic Monday, you legends, and I'll chat to you all soon. Peace. Bye.